Well, I'm basically for it, but I have to admit, I have to give a little preamble maybe, that I started out really locally getting involved in politics over the TIF project that was proposed for 50, uh, Highway 54. And I was so against that, Owen, that really kind of got me involved in city government. I guess that's been about 3 years ago. And one of the things I really was upset about is that, if we are going to do this convention center in a hotel, to me it should be done downtown. And after all, I really felt that, and I think Frankfurt finally agreed that it really was an urban redevelopment program. The TIF was designed for that, and this was a green field that was being proposed to be used. Although there were people saying there was a sewer or power line running through it, and that qualified it for urban redevelopment. And there are people saying if you actually read the documentation, the law didn't say anything about urban redevelopment. But I have to admit I didn't read the document, but I know other people, elected officials, were talking as an urban redevelopment program. So yes, I am for downtown development. There's a lot of the details that I'm not really comfortable with at all. I think the county's its total liability is going to be $20 million. No matter if this is a great success or it really gets in financial trouble, that's just as much as the county is willing to spend on this. Of course, they're going to put the money up front. And at this time, I think the city's only going to match it at $7 million. But the city is ultimately going to be responsible for footing the bill for this downtown development. And I really went along with this. I wanted to say that how much I was opposed to the TIF project on 54, because I really went along with this because this is much more in agreement where I originally thought this development should be done, is downtown, to revitalize our downtown. But, I have to admit, this is one of the perfect examples about getting out and talking to people about a subject that a lot of people are opposed to it. And as I talked to them, I really had a hard time justifying that this was really going to pay for itself. I mean, I really did. I want to see it built. I even, I have to agree with the mayor. This is something I really feel like needs to be done for the vitality of Owensboro. But as talking to people, I didn't really know how to explain to them, and I wasn't real confident that this wouldn't be another situation like the River Park that we're facing right now. And I think that's a legitimate concern for people. People want this to pay for itself, and that's Owen, is one of the problems I have too about the state building. I was really in disagreement with them purchasing the state building. Originally Malcolm Bryan had to develop on this particular corner. It's the only place that the hotel could be built, and I argued with that at the open public forum and with the city commission. I hate to say argument, but I definitely strongly had an input at the open public mic that I was concerned about this. Well, after the land became contaminated, which is another story in itself, I think it took a long time to expose for that to come forward that it was contaminated. Then Malcolm Bryan wasn't interested in the property any longer. Now the city has this. It had to take over the responsibility of the golf course. Ben Hall State Golf Course was originally proposing to close Hillcrest. And I'm glad to see Hillcrest to stay open. The more I look at those numbers were very small numbers, very small amount it was going to cost us to keep Hillcrest open. But that said, for the basically International Music and Bluegrass Center is proposed for the state building, and I have real concerns about that paying for itself. I think we already have a bluegrass museum that, I don't think really is drawing a lot of people to this community, honestly. And I have not talked to Miss Gabrielle Gray, I believe, is the director. And I should. I'd love to talk to her about the numbers for the Bluegrass, because I'm very concerned. This is going to be an expansion of 3 times for Bluegrass Center. To build our entire event center, and downtown redevelopment around Bluegrass, I have very strong concerns, and I think we need to keep talking about what the best use is for the state building in particular, and I have some real concerns about the. I have some real concerns about the particular routing of our new streets, and I'm really concerned that there might have been a better way to accomplish this streetwise. I know that there was an organization by the name of see if I can find it here, Intran, that did a traffic study and proposed these street changes, but in order to build a traffic circle on the west end, I'm a little concerned about that.
So if you have concerns about how downtown development is, and when you say pay for itself, do you mean the city recouping its investment? Or
Well, I know that there's an there's an insurance tax involved in this, and it's basically where this funding's come from. But I still think in the long run, it's going to cost the city more than $7 million to operate this.
Okay.
So, I'm concerned even about the viability of a hotel. Of course, that's really more, I guess, Malcolm Bryan's concern.
So do you think that if you have concerns that the event center won't be able to pay for itself, do you feel that it should still be built, or you think that that's something the city and county should back away from?
I really originally was strongly, for this, because I thought it was such an improvement over TIF 54. But, I still think we need it. Actually, I think we need to build it larger. I'd even advocate that we really need to be able to replace the sports center in this. I think it's really a dilemma that this is not going to be large enough to replace the sports center. And I think originally everyone, I won't say everyone, but a lot of people were saying sports center was 50 years old. It was a maintenance nightmare, that this would allow us to retire the sports center. And now, miraculously, I say that facetiously, but the sports center is in good shape now. But that's still a concern I have. I would still support this process, but I definitely want to talk about the details of how we're going to pay for this. I think we need to continue to talk about that.
Okay.
And remain open-minded about how we're going to do this.